Good morning, YouTubers. My name is Doug Grant. I live here at the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains in North Georgia. I started this little channel to tell about my 11 years being retired. I wanted to start out this morning by telling how it got started and why I retired when I did. It happened in 2014. I'm 75 years old now. At that time I was 64, or fixing to be 64 in a month. But this was August, and we went to a meeting in Nashville, and it was a Friday and Saturday meeting. We had dealers with us, and I had one of my dealers with me, rode up there with me. But on Saturday morning, my boss called about, I don't know, 5:30 in the morning. I always get up about 4. And he wanted to meet me at 8 o'clock in the morning before we left to go to where we was having the meeting. So I said, fine, that's no problem. And he said, well, I need you to bring your computer too. And I said, oh, okay, well, no problem with that either. And I knew, right then what was happening. My mama didn't raise no fool, so I knowed what was going on. So I proceeded to get my thumb drives out that I had, and I went on my computer and, downloaded all my personal stuff off of the company computer, because I knew that was, I wouldn't be getting it back. So anyway, I got all that done and went down to the meeting, and sure enough, they was having cutbacks, and one of the cutbacks was me and my job. So, but anyway, they were real nice about it, and the company I worked for was an awesome company. I worked for them for 10 years, off and on, and but they were real good to me. And anyway, they give me a 10, I believe it was a 10-week severance pay, and paid my insurance, paid me all my holiday pay, and I don't remember what all, it was pretty good package. I think I ended up getting paid for the next 10 weeks, which ain't a whole lot after what all you've done, but anyway, it was better than nothing. So, but after the meeting, I got my dealer. They wanted my telephone, and they wanted my, they knew I had to have a ride home, so they didn't take my car, but they wanted my phone, and I told them, no, I'm not giving my phone up until I get home. I said, once I get home, I'll mail it to you or whatever. But I said, I'm not going to leave here going to home with no telephone or way to contact anybody. So they agreed to let me keep my phone. And but anyway, after the meeting, I waited at the hotel, and after the meeting, I got my dealer, and he and I left and drove back to my house where his car was at, and he proceeded to drive, leave and drive home. But so here I was in August, pretty much no job, and I had a decision to make to go ahead and retire or hunt a job. And I'd planned on retiring when I was 65, so my wife and I talked it over, and I decided to go ahead and retire, and at least get that Social Security money coming in. You work all your life. I went to work when I was 14 years old, and off and on during school, out of school, but I actually worked a little bit before then in the hayfield and chicken houses, first one thing and another. But as far as a job where they take out Social Security on you, I was 14, and but anyway, I called Social Security office and got that everything going, and it's it takes about 2-3 months to get your first check after you sign up for unemployment. I mean for Social Security, unless it's changed. But anyway, it was real easy. I had no problems whatsoever. They were very nice people. I didn't even have to go to the office. Done everything on the telephone and the computer. But after that, I had to sit down and evaluate our finances and all where we was at. My wife had to quit work years before to take care of her mother, my dad, and stayed at home and help take care of them. And so we'd lost that income already, and you go through life and you don't put up a whole lot of savings. Say, well, I'll save tomorrow, or I've got time, and it's always something. But you don't save, and that's one thing I hope people gets out of this little deal here is start saving. Use your 401k, do whatever you can do to put away some money. But I had a little bit of 401k, wasn't a whole lot, but that helped. And we between she had already started drawing her money at 62, and I was going to try to work to 65 or maybe longer, but it didn't work out that way. So, but anyway, we sat down, evaluated everything. We had enough money to live on, and so we started there. Well, it didn't take me long to get bored, so I had to find me a truck, something to drive. I had a company car for years. I didn't have we had one car for my wife, and so I found me a car or a truck, and my brother, he's a contractor, and at that time he was doing odd and end jobs, first one thing to another, and so I went to helping him, and which was great. I got to spend a lot of time with him. I'd worked, off and on for him for years back earlier, and but I hadn't got to spend a whole lot of time with him, since I'd been working out of town. So I got to work with him. Really enjoyed it. He's 5 years younger than me, so it's quite a difference there. Make a little extra money there on the side, and it helps out a whole lot if you can. Do it if you retire and you're able, do it. Try to put up a little of that money, which I did, and but we've always been able to pay our bills, and our house wasn't paid for. A lot of things wasn't paid for. When I was forced to retire, or not forced, but retired. So we had bills, still got bills, to this day. But so far, the good Lord's blessed us, and He's made it to where we've lived comfortably. We don't go on vacations, and every once in a while we'll go up to Smokies for a weekend, or something like that. But for them week 10-day vacations, we ain't seen one of them in years. But that's all right. We're sort of homebodies. We love to be at home anyway. We got a lot of grandchildren and stuff like that. So, but anyway, I wanted to get on here and start this. I don't want this thing to be too long, so we'll take it up on the next video about what come after that. It's been a pretty good journey, but it's getting this day and time where it's a little bit tough, but we'll get into that later on. But anyway, I'm going to get off here. God bless you. God loves you. I love you. And y'all just have a wonderful day. And I'll see you on the next video. And if you like this or whatever, if you wouldn't mind, you know, subscribing or give me a thumb up or whatever, send me a comment too. Tell me how bad I'm doing or what you'd like to hear or whatever. It don't matter. I like it all. So, but I appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks.